everybody, welcome back to Rusty Guns. So as you saw in the title, we're going to be talking about the Beretta 92 today. The one I have for you today is the 92 SB Compact. Now I carried a Beretta similar to this while I was in the military as a sidearm. It's a good gun, good reliable gun. Now I haven't shot a Beretta 92 in probably around a year, I guess, somewhere around there. But we're going to take it out today. We'll shoot from 5 yards, 10 yards, 20 yards. We'll see how well I can do with it, having not shot it in that length of time. But it's a very good gun. It's a reliable gun. It's one of the reasons why the military had it for a long time. It does have some things that people probably won't like about it, I'm sure, as most people always have something they don't like about a gun. Now it does have several features on it. It has an ambidextrous safety on it, so you have it from either side. You can see it flip up on your side as I flip it on this side, like that. It's a double action or single action, so you could put it on fire as it is now and pull back and you'll see that it fires. If you look right here, you will see the small piece pop up like that right there. I'll hold it in. And that moves up out of the way so that the firing pin can be struck. Or you can use it as single action, like that. And again, you can see that it moves up so that the firing pin can be struck. As with most of these guns that are double action or single action that have hammers on it, once the first round is fired, okay, and the slide goes back, it now is in single action mode. You can decock this gun by simply pulling down on the safety. Now that sounds like it fired the gun, but as you may or may not have seen, that small piece doesn't move up out of the way for the firing pin to be struck. So I will show you that again. If I were to pull the trigger, you see that piece pulls up. If we were to decock it, you'll see that the piece does not move up. So it's very loud decocking, but it does decock the gun. But let's go ahead and take it up to the workbench. I'll show you a little bit more about the gun, and then we'll take it outside and shoot it. Alright, so we're here at the workbench, and forgive me if I fumble a little bit because I'm working from behind the camera, so I always can't see everything that I'm doing exactly. But we'll go ahead and get into this. Okay, first make sure that the gun is empty, of course, which I did before the video started, but for the safety sallies, there you go, it's empty. It has ambidextrous safeties on it, so there is one on this side of the gun, and there is one on this side of the gun, like so. The mag release is only on one side of the gun, which is located right here on the left side. It has plastic side grips on it. Everything else about the gun is metal. So everything, the whole lower frame, upper, everything's metal. Now the trigger shoe on it, some people call it, right here. If the gun is in a double action area, it has that longer double action trigger pull. And sometimes I find that my finger slides down on the shoe a little bit as I pull back. I can just feel it slide a little bit. So some people might not like that your finger doesn't grip solidly. Now if it's in the single action mode, it is not like that. I don't feel my finger slide at all because it has a very not light, but it has a very easy break on it, in which it breaks nice and clean, nice and easy. So the single action mode on it I like a lot. Double action mode is good, but again I have that slight feel of my finger sliding down on the trigger as I pull back. To break the gun down is very simple. Just make sure the gun's on safe, and then we're going to push in on this button over here, right there, and then we're going to push down on this lever right here. So we push in on that button and we push down on the lever, and the slide comes completely off. We can then just pull out the recoil spring, and we can pull the barrel out just like that. and then the gun's pretty much broken down. This is just basic field strip. Once you do this, you can clean everything out and then reassemble the gun. It's not difficult. It's pretty much just drop that back in. Recoil spring goes back in like so. Sits up on there. Slide it back on. Now to reassemble it, all you have to do is flip up this lever, but you need to make sure that you pull the slide back a little bit, flip the lever up, and now it's locked back in place. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple to break down and everything. The weight of the gun, it's because it's an all metal gun, it's got a little bit heavier feel than anything that has the polymer lower, of course. But they shoot well. I mean, I always liked shooting these guns. The grip, it might seem like it has a little bit wider grip. Right, so we have a Glock here to bring up as comparison. So, you know, it's a little bit beefier of a grip on it. So if you have a little bit bigger hand, it's going to feel probably a little better in your hand. These are both compact, so if we look at them like this, I don't know how well you guys can tell, but the Beretta is a little bit longer by about an inch or so than the Glock is. And so we'll go ahead and we'll measure the widths on these grips. So the Beretta comes in at about 1.379 is the width on the Beretta grip. Our Glock grip comes in at around 1.175. So the Glock is a little bit narrower of a grip. So it's a little bit beefier of a compact than the Glock 19 compact, but it's still a great shooting gun. The magazine holds 13 rounds, so you have 13, one in the pipe, so a total of 14. With a 19, you can have 15 in the mag and one in the pipe, so you can hold 16 there. So you get an extra 2 rounds out of the Glock than you do the Beretta, but Beretta's a good shooting gun, really reliable. Let's go ahead and take it outside and let's do some shooting. Okay, so I'll step up to about 5 yards and I'm going to take a few shots on target. I'll do it from this distance so you can just see me shooting the gun, I guess. And then I'll move the camera up closer so that you just see the impacts. But let's go ahead and get this going. Alright, took a few shots. I'll go up and I'll show you the target and then I'll move the camera up closer so you can see a little better. Alright, as you can tell, I was pulling everything just off to the left, so we'll just make an adjustment for that. But also that's a 5-inch circle, so it's, you know, shooting a 5-inch circle at 5 yards. You can pretty much hit it, but as you can see, I pulled everything off to the left using this Beretta. So we'll make an adjustment and we'll shoot a few more rounds. Alright, so we shot our next small group, and of course now we've pulled it back over to the right a little bit. A little high, but just a tad to the right, but not bad. Okay, I went ahead and set up a new one, and now we'll drop back. I'll go back to 10 yards, and we'll see how that works. So I still had 2 more rounds to shoot. I went ahead and stopped. I saw that I had 2 flyers here, but then we have the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I had 2 left. So it still groups pretty decently, even at 10 yards. Alright, so now I figure I guess we'll just go back to about 20 yards, and this time I'll shoot at those clays. The clays are a little, they're much smaller than 5, so they're probably about 4.5 inches. Alright, well that's kind of odd. I was able to plaster those 2, but this one here is being a stubborn. This stubborn one here didn't want to break. You can see all the shots are hitting like right here. 20 yards, hitting that small target. A little bit difficult, not impossible. I mean, I was able to hit the other ones no problem, but that one there was just didn't want to get hit today. So in a case like that, we just simply go, you lose.